up, y'all? So I wanted to just talk about, I always start off like that. I wanted to just talk about knowing what type of friend you are and valuing your friendship, valuing the friendship that you give to people. For so many years, it's very hard on myself because I didn't always do everything right, and because I didn't have, or because I didn't lean on God's guidance, it led me into making even worse decisions, and and in turn I wasn't a good friend, in doing certain things. But I didn't celebrate the qualities that I did have and I do have to this day. And God has been rebuilding me back up since 2016, and I feel like this year He's like, I'm just in the beginning. It's literally a day into 2019, or 2 days, and I'm still walking with Him on how He's going to do that. But I really do feel like God is really going to build my confidence more, in who I am, and not be ashamed of it. Not be because I like attention, but I don't like attention. I'll just be straight up, And when I get a lot of attention, I'm like, ugh. I shy away, and it's because I don't want people to praise me, or I don't want people to see me in a certain light, and then when that light gets dim by my evil side, then they get disappointed because I didn't stay on that pedestal that they put me on. And I'm just like, I've learned that you cannot help what pedestal people put you on. And you cannot help how people perceive you to be. You just cannot help how you're viewed by people. Oh my God. So anyways, I'm learning to celebrate my qualities as a friend, and that it's okay to celebrate who you are as a friend to people, and that not only to celebrate who you are as a friend to people, but to not accept anything less than what you're valued. I was looking at this YouTube video by Brini Lee, and I love her because she's just who she is, and I love looking at realness. Like she's a little rough around the edges, but she loves God. She may not know everything, but definitely I do see that God is using her. And she was just talking about about valuing yourself, and how God has given you value, and that is your God-given right. So I think that a lot of us, need to walk in that God-given value. We need to walk in that divine, or that God-given value. I don't know how else to say it. But either way, walk in that confidently, like, hey, this is what the value that I have is not because of the money that I have. It's not because of the friends or who I'm associated with or my job. I'm valued because God values me, and that's worth more than money can buy, and I have the right to exercise my value. And if we read the Word of God, we see that even Jesus exercised his authority, and he walked confidently on this earth, and he also exercised his value. You know, Jesus was all about doing what his Father wanted him to do. You know, doing what God wanted him to do. And so I think that that's how we have to operate on this earth. We'll live this life better walking in understanding our God-given value, you know. And so I had a thought in my mind, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm a bomb friend. Like, I'm a bomb friend. And like, that's not to say that I'm just perfect or I do everything right, but the way that I feel towards the people that I love, you know, they don't see my heart. God sees my heart for how I feel for the people that I love. And, you know, although God is working out some of the kinks, you know, that I have, at the end of the day, I'm still a bomb friend, you know, and it's okay for me to like say that and own that and walk confidently in that. And I wouldn't say demand, but expect nothing less than that respect. So for instance, if I'm a bomb friend to you and you want to take my friendship for granted, then hey, and I hate saying this, I hate when people say this, well, you're lost, you know, because they may not care. They may not even like think it's a loss. And that's fine, but for lack of a better phrase or for lack of a better word, you know, I guess you're lost. Like, if you can't see the value in me and you know, want to treat me like I'm a piece of lint or treat me like I'm a mediocre friend, then man, like, hey, it is what it is, because that's not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of you, you know. And so for so many years, I would gauge how people valued me to my value, and that really messed up my confidence, and that really messed up, you know, what I already kind of knew what was inside of me. Because I can remember, as long as I can remember as you know, early, you know, as a child, that I knew that, you know, I'm a bomb person, you know, like you know. But when people didn't treat me that way, that's where my confidence started to get chipped away. And so now that I have, you know, the Father on my side, you know, cheerleading me on and helping me grow, like, I believe that, you know, he wants me to stand confidently in the qualities that and who he has called me to be. Like, I'm a bomb friend. I'm a good friend. That's who I am. And like I said, I may not be perfect, but I'm a good friend, you know, and I will fight for you, and I will love you, you know, the best that I can, you know, and it is to be appreciated. And if it's not going to be appreciated, then, you know, you will know that that's not okay. And I'm not going to tolerate anything less than what I feel like I deserve. You know, it doesn't mean I'm going to love you less, but it does mean that I'm going to stand up for myself and let you know that, hey, no, I'm not going to tolerate this behavior, you know. And I'm also learning too that just because you exercise your, you know, your standards and your boundaries doesn't mean that you're not being a good friend, and it doesn't mean that you don't love that person. Because for so many years I associated, oh, well, if I kind of shy away from this person, or if I kind of like fall back from this person, or if I put up certain boundaries, then they're going to think that I don't love them, or they're going to, or even me, I was like, well, that's not being a good friend, because I'm not being there with them. But sometimes, you know, you do have to teach people how to treat you. You do, you know, because some folks they're not going to understand your value until you show them that you're valuable. And sometimes that takes you distancing yourself from them. And once again, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. It just means, because, you know, and I'll give you an example. If you have a friend that's always take, and you're always dishing out, and they don't, you know, give, at some point you're like, you know what? I love you, but I'm not going to keep giving to you. I'm not. And really, I'm not going to be hanging around you like that anymore. Doesn't mean that I don't love you. It's just one-sided, you know? And as your friend, I kind of have to like keep my space from you because you're not learning. Like, some folks don't learn how to treat you better until you give them some space. And then they're like, dang, I miss this person, I miss their company, and I miss, you know, how good they were to me. I want that back. So let me get some act right, you know? And so if they value you and they make the decision that they want to make some changes to show you that they value your friendship, then they will. And I'm also learning too, if they don't get any act right, if they don't take the initiative to, you know, change, then that's okay too. And it sucks because I think because of knowing that, I think I allowed myself to stay in situations that for longer than I should, you know. So like, I love people hard, so it's like, I want to fight for you, and you know, if I keep fighting for you, maybe you'll just get it, it'll just click. And I'm not, and like I said, I'm not saying that this particular mindset is for every situation. There, you know, every situation is case by case. You know, let God, you know, lead you into what you should do, because like I said, it's not always, oh, I gotta fall back. No, that's not always the answer. Okay, sometimes it's just effective communication and repetitiveness. Like, sometimes you really have to like repeat yourself sometimes with people. But there are times where you do have to fall back because you've tried all that you can do. You know, you've tried everything, and you know, it's just not getting through to that person, you know. And so unfortunately, you know, the risk, which I consider a risk, because like I said, I value those that I love. So for me falling back is a risk that they won't be in my life. And that for me is a risk because I care about them and I love them and I want them in my life, you know. But I also have to exercise my value to people, because if I don't, then people will do what they want to do with you, and they'll take advantage of you, even if they may care about you. But people are flawed, and people are at different levels of maturity. They are. And if their maturity level is not up to par or up to a certain level, even though they may care about you, they will still take advantage of you. I've been that person. I've been that person where I really cared about people, but I wasn't ready to change. I wasn't ready to stop being selfish. And I knew that I'm milking this. Like I know that I should give a little bit more, but I don't want to. And this person is giving it, so I'm gonna just, you know, ride it. I've been that person. I've done that. So I know that it's possible to occur. I cared about that person. I did. And some people may argue, say, oh, well, you didn't care about them. It's like, no, I did. I just was immature. And, you know, I decided to take advantage, and that's not okay, you know. But so what I'm saying is, it's okay to exercise your value to your friends. It's okay to do that, you know. Now, once again, this is social media. So I know that anything, when it comes to cutting folks off and when it comes to, you know, letting people go, y'all will take that and run with it and go across the country with it. That's not what I'm saying, okay? Because a lot of y'all people, I'm about to say another word, a lot of y'all people don't know how to fight for folks, and y'all really do need to learn how to fight for people. You need to learn patience, long suffering. You know, you need to learn that. You know, you need to learn how to, instead of I'm talking to myself too. You need to learn how to, instead of getting frustrated with people, you need to just pray for folks. That's so hard. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm learning that right now because I'm in the beginning stages of it. You got to pray for folks that just acting up, and it's just like, ugh, I want to leave, but I'm praying for you because I love you, okay? So, that's hard. But guess what? These are qualities that God wants to build up in you. These are traits that he wants to build up in you, because guess what? That's him. God, everything that we're going through in life is so that we can be more like Christ. So whenever you're going through something, it's not in vain. Okay? Think about it this way. This is another way that I can be like my Father. And the only way that you're going to be able to appreciate that phrase is if you have a relationship with him. Is if you commune with him. Is if you get intimate with him. Is if you know, is if you get to know his heart. Then you'll be like, yeah, I want to be like him because he's beautiful. Like, he's freaking awesome. So it's worth it. If I'm going through this right now and this is hard and I gotta pray, but the reward is I get to be like my dad, who's in heaven. It's worth it, And so that even in getting there, that takes time. It took me darn near my whole like 20 plus years to finally get to that mindset that, yeah, I want to be like God. I've always had that thought in my mind because I knew that was the right thing to do, but the willingness wasn't really where it needed to be. Now I have a more willing heart, So anyways, that's pretty much all that I have to say, you guys. I hope that you guys that can sit in your heart when it comes to your relationships. I'm in the beginning stages of this. I'm still growing, you guys. I really am. And when I speak, I don't speak as if I'm teaching at you or preaching at you. I'm literally, we're in this together. Like, literally, we're in this together. Okay, and like I'm, learning this with you guys. Okay, but anyways, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good morning. All right.